Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So I got my Sephora Vib sale little booklet in the mail the other day and here it is. It is that time of year for the Vib sale. This is a great time to stock up on your favorite products, anything you've run out of, anything you've wanted to try. It's a great time to also get like Christmas presents because you get 20% off if you are Rouge and if you are Vib, which is amazing. It doesn't happen very often that you get 20% off at Sephora, so I feel like this is the time everyone waits for when you really just like stock up and get everything you've been wanting because the sale is so good. So if you are Vib Rouge, you get 2 weekends to shop. So you get November 3rd through the 6th. I will put all this down below as well. And then you also get November 10th to 15th. So that is if you are Rouge. And if you are Vib like me, then you only get November 10th to 15th. And another good thing is you can use the coupon multiple times. You can go back on the 10th, you can go back on the 12th, 15th, and you can keep buying stuff. So if you guys are curious to find out my recommendations for the Sephora Vib sale and also some items that are on my wish list, then just keep on watching. I'm going to share everything with you guys. I'm going to break this all up into like categories. So I have like eyeshadow palette recommendations and like foundations. I just thought it would be a little bit easier that way. I don't have too many things because I'm not this like total high-end snob. You guys know I'm more of like a drugstore girl. So anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is eyes and like eyeshadow palettes. So my first recommendation, I think these are so phenomenal. They're the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow. Is that the name? I always forget. Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow. Yeah, I got it right. These are liquid glitter eyeshadows. They are just top notch. I wear these all the time. I actually think I'm running out of this one. This is Diamond Dust, and I also have Smoldering Satin. I want to get more of these. I did a swatch. One right here is more of a rose gold. This is Smoldering Satin, and then this one is Diamond Dust. And Diamond Dust I wore the other day, and it's so pretty because it has like this kind of like rainbow glitter look to it. I'm obsessed with these. If you guys have not tried these yet, I highly recommend picking at least one up in the sale, and I would say get Diamond Dust. Well, it depends on your coloring, but I think I love Diamond Dust a little bit more than Smoldering Satin. You can see these from like a mile away. I wear these to special occasions all the time. I've worn these to like every wedding I've been to in the past year. I don't think anyone has made a similar item to this that compares, and they're so easy to use. You don't have to use a glitter glue. Just like 10 stars. I love these. Cannot rave about them enough. I just think they are an awesome product. If you are a glitter lover, you definitely need these. Moving on to some eyeshadow palettes that I recommend. The first one is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and if you have not got this one yet, definitely consider picking it up in the Vib sale. So I love these warm shades. Sadly, one of my favorite shades, Cypress Umber, broke. I'm so upset about it because that was like my perfect outer V color. It's a mess too, by the way. The outer packaging, just like this velvet, it like sucks up powder and makeup. It's just, it gets gross really quickly. These shades perform so well. The shimmers are really soft and creamy. I love Vermeer. That's like one of my favorite lid shades. Primavera is beautiful gold, and Buon Fresco is a beautiful crease shade. Tempera is really pretty. These are beautiful transition shades right here. I definitely recommend this one. This is like one of those just have to have palettes in your collection. Another one I want to recommend is the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette. This is one of my favorite higher end eyeshadow palettes because first of all, this packaging is absolutely amazing. Like, look how nice this looks when you compare it to my stained Modern Renaissance. It just is so nice. It has like a heavy weight to it. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels very nice and luxurious. I love the design. These shades are so good. I feel like they would work on a variety of different skin tones. I love these transition shades in the second row. This is just a good palette to have in your collection if you just want something neutral. Another thing that I love about it, which doesn't really have to do with the quality of the shadows, but the smell is absolutely the best ever. Like my favorite scented makeup product ever. It smells like vanilla candy. You get like 3 nice deeper shades over here at the end. Some swatches for you guys. So Firecracker is a gorgeous shade. And Firecracker right there. And with the 20% off sale, this palette will only be about $36.80. Another eye product that I love, I mentioned this in my September favorites. It is the Makeup Forever Diamond Powder. These are like the best loose glitters in my opinion. So these will only be $20 in the sale. They're originally $25. These really pack a nice glittery punch when you put them on your eye. I love putting the shade on my inner corner. I just feel like instead of just having white on my inner corner, which is what I have on a daily basis, putting this over top, it just takes it up a notch, makes it like slightly more glam, and I want more of these because they're so pretty, but they are pricey, so that's why I want to get at least one more during the VIB sale. Okay, next I want to talk about foundations. So I'm wearing two of my recommendations today. I actually mixed them together. So the first one is the YSL All Hours Foundation. I have the shade beige, I believe. So this I have on right now, and I also mixed it with another one of my recommendations, the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in pure beige. Now, I don't think this is my shade. I think this is too pink for me, so I can't wear this on its own. But I want to get my correct shade, of course, in Double Wear. I don't know why they match this to me. Maybe it was like during the summertime when I got this. So I mixed it with the All Hours Foundation, and I really, really like the way my skin looks today. I feel like it had a nice smoothing effect. I like the coverage. It's not too matte. It has like the tiniest bit of like satin kind of finish to it. This, I don't think is like the most full coverage foundation I've ever worn in my life. It says that it is full coverage. I'd say it's like almost full coverage, and Double Wear is like so good if you're looking for a really nice full coverage foundation. It's not for someone who doesn't like more of like a heavier foundation. This is if you like have stuff to cover up. Like I have a lot of hyperpigmentation that I need to cover up. My skin's been just going crazy lately, so I need help covering everything up. So these two together, I love this mix. And these are two higher end foundations that I think you guys should definitely check out. And this next one is kind of like, it's a wish list and it's also a recommendation because I did a whole video on this. It is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I will link my video for that down below, but I have been wearing it the past few days. I'm almost out of my sample, and I have been super, super impressed with it. It is full coverage, you guys, like no messing around. That is like straight up going to cover everything up. And I think I want to get the full size during the sale just because it is more of a pricier foundation. It's just a good time to pick it up if you've been wanting to try it out, or if you got a sample like me and you loved it. I really like it. It's been lasting really nicely on my skin. I did a whole wear test with it, but I've been testing it out with different primers, seeing which ones I like best. I have my little sample bag right here. So I wear the shade Creme Brulee. For some people, this might be more of like a special occasion foundation. So again, if you are afraid of full coverage, or if you have dry skin, don't get this foundation because it's going to cling to your dry patches. I would definitely say it's more for oily girls, but as an oily girl, I've really been appreciating how much coverage it gives. And the only thing I can't stand is the scent. I think it is way too heavily fragranced, like the most fragrance foundation I own, next to All Hours. This is very potent, but the Huda Beauty scent bothers me more than this one. This one is a little bit sweeter. So I just wrote down the prices here. The Huda Beauty will be $32. The YSL All Hours right here is going to be $46.40. This is more of a pricier foundation. I did get this for free from Influencer. And then the Estee Lauder foundation is going to be $33.60 during the sale. I have two highlighters I want to recommend to you guys, and I actually pulled them out. Well, I wrote them down. I was thinking like, what highlighters do I want to recommend that are from Sephora? And they actually are both collabs with beauty gurus, which I want to do a whole video about. The first one I want to recommend to you guys, this is something that I changed my mind about for sure. This is the Smashbox and Casey Holmes highlighter palette. And here's what it looks like when you open it up. The only thing, and it's not like anything to do with the product, I wish this had a little bit more of like Casey to it. Front of it is like a little bit boring. I would have loved to have seen something more her in it, so I instantly, when I picked it up, I knew right away like, oh, that's Casey's palette. These shades are amazing if you have texture. At first I wrote these off. I'm like, no, they're not sparkly enough for me, they're not glowy enough, but I wore this one day and it was like the perfect lit from within glow. Obsessed. So definitely recommend this. You get 3 beautiful highlighters in here. I usually stick to these two. Sometimes I'll just use this one. This one is my favorite, the lighter one, and then sometimes I will mix these two together. This one isn't too dark either. I just tend to stick with these two. I love all of these. These are just the best if you have larger pores like me and you don't want to accentuate anything, but you still want to have that glow, and it's beautiful, you guys. So definitely recommend checking this one out. But this is going to be $28 during the sale if you use your 20% off coupon. Next highlighter that I want to recommend to you guys is the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop Highlighter. I'm wearing it today, and when I put it on, instantly I was like, why haven't I used this in a long time? Like, it's really been a few months since I used this, but it reminded me why I love this so much. It is the most gorgeous, creamy, just like melts right into your skin, buttery highlight, and mine is totally a mess. I kind of just have to be really careful with it. These are so prone to breakage. Do not travel with these. It will break instantly. That's the only thing. They're very, very softly pressed highlighters, but that makes for a gorgeous glow, and you guys can see, like, look at how stunning that is. This is one of my favorite highlighters. To me, this is just like a must-have highlighter. I think it flatters so many different skin tones, from lighter to medium skin tones to deeper skin tones. It has like this peachy, apricot-y kind of glow to it, which I think is so unique. And I just don't feel like anyone has made something similar to this highlighter shade. Also put it on my collarbone today. It's smooth. It's amazing. So with the 20% off, this is going to be $30.40. Next up is powders, and I'm running out of mine. I'm so sad. This is the Cover FX Matte Setting Powder. I want to get the perfect setting powder because I've heard people rave about that one. I just stuck with the matte because the fact that I am oily and I always want to kind of just mattify my skin. I love this for baking. The only thing I don't like is the packaging. I feel like it's really hard to get the powder out. I'm like always trying to get it out into the cap. The other thing that stinks is that you don't get much product in here, so you only get 0.35 ounces, which is not that much when you compare it to like a Coty Airspun. So in Airspun you get 2.3 ounces. That is insane. Like, I feel like I'm never going to run out of Airspun, or at least like it's going to take me years. I love this stuff. It really just makes your skin look beautiful. It is not drying, and I love that there's no talc in it. Talc is like a very controversial ingredient in powder, so I love that this doesn't have it in there. It's very finely milled, very soft, and it just makes my skin look very flawless. And during the sale with the 20% off, this is going to be $28. So for more of like a pressed powder, I want to recommend the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. You guys know I picked this up at Marshall's. It was on sale for $20, so I was so pumped. You guys, if you saw that video, you know I was like freaking out because I had been wanting this forever. I actually wanted to get this in the last VIB sale, but I held back. But it really is everything everyone has said it was. It's such an amazing contour and powder palette. These shades right here, I absolutely love them for contouring. They're so soft, like very, very pigmented, but not too much. And then I love this banana shade for setting underneath the eyes when I don't feel like dealing with loose powder. This one I don't really touch. I don't really think that is one that I'm going to be using. It's more of like a peachy shade. This one right here, I use this a ton to like set my eyeshadow primer as well. I actually wish this was a little bit bigger, like kind of the size of one of the contour shades. I think I might be liking this one even more than the Anastasia one. That one I've been using for a couple years. This one is more recent to me, but I just love the formula on these. It is more of a pricier item, and if you can still find it in Marshall's, definitely pick it up. In a sale with the 20% off, this is going to be $39.20. So I have one concealer I want to recommend to you guys for the sale. It is the Too Faced Born This Way Radiant Concealer. This just really fits that name. I do find this to be very radiant. I have the shade Fair, and I'm wearing this today. This, I think it is so creamy, and another thing that I love is the wand is flexible. So when you put it up against your eye, it just kind of fits really nicely and contours to your face, which for some reason I just really appreciate that little tiny tidbit about it. Since the phenomenon of like Shape Tape, I kind of like put this on the back burner, but I've been using it the past few days again, and again it just reminded me like how much I really enjoy this concealer. It has such a beautiful brightening quality to it when I put it underneath my eyes, and it always makes this area look very smooth, and that is something I look for also in a concealer, is how smooth it makes my under eye area look. It really makes your skin look nice and highlighted over here. It's a beautiful base for your highlighter. So I was just on Sephora because I was looking up the price of this, and it doesn't have the best ratings. I don't know why. Some people are saying it doesn't have the best coverage or it doesn't cover up. I personally find the coverage should be very nice. The only thing I will say is that it does tend to crease a little bit even after it's set. It's a little bit in your fine lines. I had to kind of go back and pat it out with my finger, which is annoying. It would be $22.40 during the sale. So for lips, would you guys believe I don't have a lipstick to recommend? I like couldn't come up with any lipstick from Sephora that I was like absolutely in love with. I don't know, am I missing something? So I have some lip gloss products here. So the first one is one I'm wearing today. This is the Huda Beauty Lip Strobe. I've talked about this a couple times and how much I really like it. This was in my September favorites as well. This is in the shade Angelic. You can wear this with a lip liner like I am today. You can wear it alone. It is so beautiful. It has like this golden sheen to it, but it's not like overly metallic. I'll apply it a little bit more. It just has such a pretty golden tone to it. I would love to try out some more shades of these. I'm just like really drawn to this. For some reason, I love how nice and metallic they are, but they're also glossy. Sometimes these could look really off on me, like these metallic shades, but this one I think is really beautiful. It makes your lips look nice and juicy. So these are only going to be $14.40 during the sale. So if you've been wanting to try these out, definitely pick one up. They also smell like heavenly. Oh my gosh, they smell really good. My last category of recommendations, I want to talk about some primers that I really love. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil Free Pore Minimizing Primer. This is like magical, the formula in here. If you are textured, then you gotta try this. At least get the travel size of this. This is like amazing. I put it on today and it is like the only pore minimizing primer I have that actually works, and instantly you see it just blurs your skin. I feel like it makes for a beautiful canvas for foundation, and I couldn't believe how nice my skin looked after I put this on. I actually feel like I could wear this on like a no makeup day because it really just makes my skin look really nice, and it's mattifying too. Like when I put this on my nose, it just instantly made it look matte. And I think this is so good. I will continue to repurchase this. Okay, then I want to recommend the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refining Primer. You can kind of see a trend here. I always try to go for like pore minimizing primers. That is something about my skin that I'm always just trying to kind of get rid of. I want to have that like smooth, pore-free skin. Whenever I see someone who has that very like baby soft skin, I'm like so jealous because their skin looks so nice and smooth. This one is amazing too. It's definitely great for getting rid of pores. It makes them look a tiny bit less apparent, and both of these have like a kind of a balmy texture to them, which I personally really like. So I want to just talk about a couple of things that I have been wanting. So I mentioned to you guys I wanted to pick up a couple more of the Stila Magnificent Metals. So I've been really wanting to try the Laura Mercier loose powder. I think I might get the travel size just to see if I like it, and if I love it then I'll get the full size. So that is definitely on my wish list. I have heard so many people rave about it, and I really like trying different loose powders, so I want to test that one out. And I want to get the full-size Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I told you guys that when I was talking about foundations, just because it is like no other foundation I've ever tried as far as coverage goes. It is like truly amazing. Really interested in the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I've also heard a lot of people say that they love that palette. I love matte eyeshadows. I always reach for them, so I feel like that is something that I would get a lot of use out of in my collection. If you guys have that palette and if you like it, comment down below if it's like a must-have. I also feel like I was looking at my collection the other day at what high-end blushes I had, and I didn't really have too many. So Anastasia just released their blush kits. They look a lot like the highlighters, except they're in square pans, I guess to differentiate them from the highlighter palettes. So I really want to get the Radiant blush kit. It looks beautiful. I love that you get 4 different options. I just want to kind of expand my blush collection. I feel like I have a decent amount, but I want to try more high-end blushes. So also if you guys have any recommendations for those, definitely let me know down below. And that is pretty much it, you guys. That is my recommendations and my wish list. Let me know if you guys are going to pick anything up in this sale. Please comment down below. Let me know if there's anything I should be checking out. And thank you guys as always so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!